Welcome to another installment of Rapid Licks. Alright, so today's lick is a monstrous G diminished descending alternate picking lick. It's really a sequence, not so much a lick. Well, it's a lick that I've made into a sequence. I'm going to show you the lick, show you the sequence. Stick around. Today's Rapid Lick actually is inspired from the last Rapid Lick I posted up, the Vito Bratta Diminished lick. Kind of had me thinking, you know, why don't I just do a really cool diminished lick in the regular diminished scale with all of the notes. So this is my attempt to do that. I've made this into an alternate picking workout. It's gonna really work on your independence for your fingers and really probably tire out your pinky. Anyway, so let me break this down and show you what I'm doing. Alright, so we're going to do this basically around G diminished. That's kind of what I was thinking when I put this together. And this is the whole half diminished scale. So for those of you not familiar with diminished scales, they're really neat. Things repeat. And the way when you say whole half or half whole, basically that's just the order of the intervals that you're working on. So I said whole half, right? And we're in G. So if you're looking at G, just go G, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. You can see we're back on G. That's literally how diminished works. Just lots and lots of repeating patterns. So knowing that, you can already see that these things are going to start stacking up. Like if I do that, that'll stack, and so on. So basically everything I teach you repeats. So that's going to make this a little bit easier. I've designed this thing specifically to really kind of work on your pinky strength and make you focus on where you're changing with your pick with strings. So you're going to start everything off on a downstroke on every string. You're going to end every sequence on an upstroke. This is important because I want you to change strings on downstrokes. You'll know if you do this incorrectly or end up economy picking by accident when you do this, because your picking will become inverted on the change and it'll be really obvious because it's going to get awkward to play this quickly. Alright, so before we get started on this thing, I'm going to play this once through slowly, just so you can kind of hear the scale as it is and get kind of a feel for that pattern in your head. Okay, here we go. Alright, so when I'm doing this lick, I start up here on the E string, 12th fret, and the notes I'm going to be playing are 12, 11, 9, and 8. So that's one of the patterns, right? That's one of the patterns we're going to be using. So basically this pattern is going to just keep moving down. Now the cool thing about this is as it moves, it kind of moves diagonal. So if I start here, when I start the next pattern, I just do the exact same thing, one string down, but move one fret towards the nut. Got it? Perfect. Alright, so the pattern itself, and the way this works, is basically on a repeating sequence. So when I play this, what I'm playing is for the sequence, and this is the same sequence that's going to apply across everything. I'm going to go just on the high E string to start here. We're going to play 12, 11, 9, 8, 9, 11, 9, 8. You got that? So this is what this is going to sound like all together. Now when you play this, I want you to do this alternate pick, start on a downstroke. Trust me on this. So if you do this correctly, you end on an upstroke, which is important because we want to jump onto the next string down. So you want to start that sequence on a downstroke. So this is why this all works this way. Alright, so we've got this much so far. Good. Now we need to jump onto the next string, and because this is diminished, we're going to play the exact same thing, but we're going to start right here on the 11th fret of the B string. So play exactly what I just showed you on the high E string, on the B string, but starting right there on the 11th. With me? Good. Now we got to jump down, and of course, because of the way that guitars are tuned, this one isn't going to work as easily as the last two did. So this is a bit of a bigger jump. we're going to move down here onto the 9th fret on the G string, and we're going to do the exact same pattern. Good. So now we're going to jump down to the D string, starting off on the 8th fret, repeat the exact same pattern. With me? Good. Jump down one more, and now starting on the 7th fret on the A string, exact same pattern. Alright, now this is the last piece here, so we're going to jump down again, and we're going to do the exact same pattern, but on the low E string. Now, when I play through this, I just go back up and then this again on the G. So go ahead and do that, and that resolves everything. Alright, so the point of this, when I'm going through all of this, is alternate picking. Start every string on a downstroke, end it on an upstroke. If you're doing this and that gets inverted somewhere, go back and start over and do this again the way that I'm trying to explain it to you. The reason for that is what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to force you to get used to making these string changes after an upstroke, forcing downstrokes. This is really going to help you out later when you're playing quick alternate picking sequences, just getting used to these awkward string changes. I find when I'm doing this I got to really pay attention, because if I'm not, I have a tendency to economy pick and just on this last upstroke, sliding right through into the next note and continuing on almost like a sweep, which is a nice technique, but not what we're trying to focus on. So don't do that. Alright, so let's play this whole thing together really slowly. Perfect. Alright, so let's play this a little bit quicker. Maximum effort. Nailed it. Alright, so that's the entire lick. It's a pretty neat one. It's a scale that not a lot of people use. It's kind of a jazzer scale. But just by the way that it's laid out, you can build some pretty monstrous shred runs out of it, as you just saw. The cool thing is, too, everything repeats basically every 3 semitones. So when you're doing this, and you've learned this pattern, if you want to apply this to somewhere different to get a different flavor, you can just slide that whole thing up 3 semitones and play the exact same thing again in the store. It really doesn't matter. That's the beauty of these diminished licks. Anyway, so try it out, impress your friends with it, and feel free to hashtag me on Instagram. I think we're at RapidLick13 now. Anyways, just hashtag RapidLick13. Love to see you play through this. If you have any variations on this technique or this kind of pattern to move around, I'd love to see that too. So yeah, reach out. Anyway, that's all I got for you right now. And my dog is bugging me for a walk, so we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.